What's up YouTube, Keegan from TechShowsU Media here, and in today's quick video, I'll be showing you guys a tweak called Battery Doctor Pro. Now you may have used this tweak, it's been around for a while, but it recently got a much better upgrade. So what it is it's basically a tweak that allows you to manage all of your battery usage, and it gives you tips on how to save your battery. I'm going to go ahead and launch the app now, and as you can see, it just loads up and it shows your current battery life, as well as what status you're using. Right now I'm set on the indoor setting. If I were to change it to outdoor, you can see it will switch me over to using 4G instead of Wi-Fi, and it will also change my settings and brightness based on how I have it set. As you can see, I just now got a voicemail because I was not getting voicemails previously due to the fact that my data was turned off. Now I will go back to home, and as you can see, it will switch over to using Wi-Fi as opposed to using data. I can switch again over to the alarm mode, which puts it on airplane mode, and it also lowers the brightness. In this way, my alarm will go off while conserving as much battery as possible if I cannot charge it overnight. I'm going to switch back over to home for the remainder of this demo, and as you can see, it reduces the time by about 5 minutes versus being in alarm mode. Now the second feature is this will show you how your device is charging and how much time you have left. So I will go ahead and plug in my device now, and as you can see, it shows my battery percentage on the lock screen, what status it's at. As you can see, it's at the continuation status, and it will also tell me how much longer it will take to fully charge my device. Now that I'm back in the app, it tells me that it is recharging. You can also see this cool animation that as I rotate my phone, it moves, although you can't see that in the video, but the little liquid in the bubble is moving as I rotate it. It will tell me the estimated finish time, which is at 3:41, which is approximately an hour from now, an hour and 15 minutes. At the bottom down here, we can see that it shows what status we're at. So right now we are at the high speed charging. We just passed that up, and now we're moving into continuation. This basically charges slower, and it allows your battery to charge almost to 100%. So that way it will be completely full instead of overcharging. The last section is trickle charging, which we are not at yet, which means it will charge up to the full, and then as it drains back down, it'll keep recharging it so it stays right at the full level without overcharging. Another cool feature is I can see the record of my battery, so you can see how many times I've had a full cycle, as well as how many times I have partially charged or overcharged. So as you can see, the blue shows that I've had a full cycle twice, and that I've partially charged once, or 3 times, I'm sorry. And you can see that I have never overcharged, which is a very good thing because that is bad for my battery. Over here is my system, where it shows I have 90% battery health remaining. I'm on cycle 368, and the temperature of the battery is 30 degrees Celsius. Now this is important because if your battery gets too hot, it could be bad for it. Now I can also see how much used RAM I have and how much used CPU. And this basically shows how much processing power is being used, which does use up battery. This also shows my storage status, which does not necessarily affect the battery usage, but it is still a very useful statistic you want quite frequently. And of course, I can see serial numbers on my battery, as well as if I'm jailbroken, which I obviously am because I'm running this app, which operating system I'm using, and all of the information about my battery, Wi-Fi address, 4G network, sister information, and my hardware. Now I'm going to move on to the notification center widget. Now as I swipe down, you can see there's a nice battery status thing up here at the very top. Now basically what this is it's some quick toggles to changing your battery settings. So I can switch from right here, I can switch to my outdoor setting directly from notification center, and then I can switch back into indoor. I can also see the open apps, so this is also a good way to add an app switcher into your notification center. I can scroll through and see what's open, and then I can quit apps as I see necessary. Up here in the top we see used RAM, and if I tap that, I can close the apps that are using up too much RAM. So that clears up some RAM, and as you can see now I'm down to 62%, and there is no apps running, which is saving me a lot of RAM. I can also, of course, see all my toggles, brightness slider, and volume slider, and media controls in this switcher as well. Now there's also controls for turning on and off Wi-Fi and data, changing your brightness. Right here it has a nice little slider, as well as enabling and disabling airplane mode. And then of course here, free RAM, as you saw me use earlier, it basically frees up all the RAM that is unused of apps that are running, but you are not currently using. Battery Doctor Pro is available on Cydia for free. That is one of the main features. It is free, so you do not need to charge anything, so you do not need to pay anything for this, I'm sorry. I'm just going to search it here and show you guys how you can find it. Here you guys can see it is Battery Doctor Pro for iOS 5 and iOS 6 by Kingsoft Security. It is on the Big Boss repo, and it is available now for free, as I have said before. This works for iOS 5 and 6, and this is the English version. It works for the iPhone 3G, 3GS, 4, 4S, and 5, and the iPod Touch 4 and 5. I have not tested this out on my iPad, and I am not positive if it will work or not, so do that at your own risk. Also, if you want to bring up some quick settings, you can also tap the battery in the top right corner, and that will bring up a quick view of everything that is running and the RAM saving, minus the full notification center, as you can pull up earlier. Now, this is one of my favorite tweaks because it does show this lock screen data right here, as you can see on my phone now, and because it allows me to save battery very easily, and it's not much effort on my part to save battery. Because to me, I don't want to have to work to save my battery. I want it to be quick and easy. And that's exactly what this tweak does. So I highly recommend you guys go check this out immediately. This has been Keegan from Tech Shows You Media, and I will see you next time.